Hey, folks, welcome back to the Mssada Podcast with Keith Mangan from Bedford High School and myself, Matt Trahan, Athletic Director at Old Colony High School. Welcoming everybody back. If you're not back in school, we know you're still working. There's a lot that takes place in preparation. So some of us are in the building, some of us aren't quite in the building yet, but we'll all be back soon. Keith, how you doing?
I am outstanding, Matt. How's everything going for you so far this spring? This fall. I'm still in springtime.
Hey,
holy moly.
Listen, way to push it along. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to think that, after doing it as long as some of us have, it's like riding a bike. So what I will say is the biggest difference is, you go from July where you're making all of your own decisions and it's all about, the homestead to now, you're at work and there's a lot of other decisions to make, but other people are included. So busy.
Absolutely.
How about you?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's, everything's been going for the most part pretty smoothly. We have some of our conversations offline. We have a new athletic trainer working with us now. Great guy coming up from Naples, Florida, and very excited. And for the most part, knock on wood, everything's going well. We did drop our firstborn off at college last week. So that's been interesting and getting used to that and what that experience has been like. And so far, he seems to be doing very well and very happy. And, but it's, that adjustment for mom and dad as well. And my son's, my daughter as well, who's now, the only one in the house right now. So that's interesting as well. So it's been interesting to say the least.
Nice. Yeah, I bet it is. It's different, it's definitely different. They get a little bit older and then you feel a little bit older and you look around and you go, oh, there's some people missing in this house.
Yeah. It's definitely it's definitely different, but it's, as you said, the excitement of the fall season here and getting things going and getting busy. And when I'm not here, I'm going to watch my daughter's games and stuff. And we have Mssada. A couple weeks ago, we had the new mentoring, the AD mentoring program Tom Holgate ran. That thought went pretty well. We had, I think we had probably like 12 to 15 people show up who are new ADs, some from out of state who are now relocated into Massachusetts and some who are been coaches and making that transition over and went pretty well. Jim Quattromoni was there as well. Pete Serino from Abington was there and Ann Trico came. So we had a good group of people there and kind of, the general program ran from about 9 to about 1 o'clock. And, I think it was a good experience. Bob Baldwin came in and spoke. Different members of the staff popped in and introduced themselves. So it went pretty well, I think.
Oh, listen, as two veterans, I think that's definitely worthwhile to some of the younger folks. Yeah. I know, way back in the day, and I think you were probably there as well. You sat in a room and it was a little bit more of like nuts and bolts. Right. It was more of, you sat there for 3 hours and they kind of went over the website and went over all those things. But I love the fact that, Bob came in and you had, some other folks from the office as well. I think that, obviously what Tom's providing is a quality product. So I appreciate that. And I know you do too.
Yeah, no, I thought it went pretty well. So and now we're looking forward to, we had a Zoom call the other day that you were on as well, getting ready for the big 50th anniversary celebration for Mssada and trying to bring some different things. And I can't even believe it. I just hit the big 5-0 last year. So it's kind of like, I got the big 5-1 here at the end of the week. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, really?
With
that. Big 5-1, man.
Yeah, big 5-1 on Saturday. So we'll see.
You got a couple of years on me.
Listen, I got a couple of years on you. I know you look a lot older than me, but I take this opportunity to give a shout out for our. Listen, that's all trimmed. So we'll talk about our new sponsor next one. So, but shout out to that'd be the Hair Club for Men.
I thought it was hymns.
But a shout out to our former colleague Mike Roy, who celebrated her birthday yesterday as well. So. I know Mike is always, trying to, misses doing what we do a lot, but give him a shout out as well.
Absolutely. Speaking of shout outs, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't know about you, but all of my teams are off and running and they're all dealing with Gold Athletics. They're dealing with Matt Ross. It is the only way to fundraise. I put out a tweet the other day. They think of everything. They think of everything so much so that when you're involved with them, you click, 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 and it's all done. It's so easy. They're using PayPal, they're using Venmo, they're using whatever it may be. They make it easy for the customer. Make it easy for those folks that, maybe, a few states away or might be a little elderly. They take care of everybody. In my opinion, it's the only way to fundraise, and it is one great company.
Listen, and you can't go wrong with the guys at Gold Athletics. They're great. Steve Ash is our guy here in Bedford. Great things. Each year we're trying to add a couple more teams trying to get on board and to join the crew as well. So it's been great, and we're thankful always to the support that they give Mssada as well, which has been great. Absolutely.
I like what they're doing with social media too, Keith. You notice how when you're kicking it off, they're popping in logos of the school, and they're highlighting kids, and you're getting all this, this interactive stuff, which I think we can appreciate, because that's kind of our day to day now. But I think that, they're on the cutting edge, and, if you look no further, that's where you want to be. You want to deal with a quality company, such as Gold Athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit more about the 50-year, Keith.
Yes.
I mean, we don't want to give away anything, but you can imagine, right? I mean, if you're an AD and you've been to the conference before, I think that we're always trying to do, bigger and better things. That's always been, the thought. Last year was last year. This year will be that much better, and so on and so forth. But, you got to celebrate things like the Big 5-0. That's, it's not, it's a long time. There's been a lot of people in the profession. There's been a tremendous grouping of people from way back in the day, and then you get the current people who do an excellent job as well. So I think it's a great profession, but certainly it's definitely a great opportunity to honor some folks as well.
Yeah, listen, it's we're talking about some different things and trying to bring some folks back in. There's we can tease a little bit of making some of the changes we've talked about, and we've been promising people. We do have a section 1 meeting, which you'll be part of at the very beginning, that some of us will participate in. Trying to do some new stuff, but also trying to keep true to some of the stuff that why people love the conference as much as they do. So, we're very early stages here. When our next podcast that we come out, hopefully we'll have some more stuff in, to be able to share more concrete stuff, but it's going to be great. And every year the conference is great. We go from the national NIAAA conference. This year we're heading down to Austin, Texas, which should be great. And then we'll be back down the Cape again in March for our state conference. So really, really looking forward to that.
Try to not look at it like Groundhog Day, because I think we do a lot of the same things over and over again. However, I think that those are the times where you can kind of, not for all of us, but some of us can let our hair down, and then,
true.
Right. And then, have a good conversation and whatnot. I will tell you this. One of the things that we're doing here at the school is I was extremely inspired last year at the AD's conference in March by Travis Doherty. The keynote speaker was fantastic, and I spent a good part of the summer getting together with him multiple times, and we've rolled it out to our student athletes. And I can't say enough about the product and where he comes from. He's not a salesman. He's not trying to force things down your throat. It's there is a cost associated, but and I know that if you bring in a keynote speaker for an hour or two, you're going to spend upwards of who knows, right? But this is a program that we're going to utilize the entire year. The kids seem very receptive, and hopefully we can continue to use it, because he's just got a good way about him, and his message and in his curriculum. Fantastic.
Well, and along those lines, Matt, too, we talk about the vendors and stuff that every year at our conference, and having creating those relationships and fostering those relationships, and different things where you had started off working with Gold Athletics, and us talking through this, and then we started a relationship with them as well. We're doing different things like scheduling programs to bringing different groups left and right to do. We're both using Final Forms now. I bet you were able to get on a little bit easier. Couldn't be any more thrilled with the product. And a shout out to those guys as well, that it's things that we need to do to make our lives easier, to be able to utilize the small amounts of time that we have. We were just joking before we went on today, how it feels like on a Monday, everything's just kind of crazy. Then you add in a little bit of weather, thunderstorms already went by you, coming by me in a couple of hours here. We've got a couple scrimmages today. Hopefully they'll just kind of dissipate a little bit by the time
I think they will.
But it's, the craziness of our jobs, and all of a sudden it's like, you can plan as much as you want, but then boom, something happens, and you gotta gotta punt and make that move, zigzag or whatever the analogy is. But having those relationships with those vendors and those products, and the ADs that we work with, to be able to make our lives run smoother whenever possible.
You hit the nail on the head, Keith, because I feel like it's like almost like, I don't trade stock, but it's like insider trading, right? When you see somebody who's got something great going on, hey, as an AD, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Final Forms is helped me. I shared that with you, and we shared it with the organization. Tom Toppy's using it. There's a lot more people using it now. And I know that, early on it was Mike Denise telling me about this Gipper thing that we started doing. I got on the Gipper, but you're right. It's really all about not having to reinvent the wheel, create stuff for yourself. It's get a hold of those companies and streamline the process for your department and your coaches and whatnot. So I think it's great.
Yeah. And that's the whole trick right there, right? What I like most about the conference is sitting down with our colleagues, being able to, what's working for you, what things are you doing, and teaching each other and sharing that message, or whatever we can do to not have to reinvent the wheel. And hey, it's okay if you use this. And imitations, they say, is the most sincere form of flattery. It's being able to do all that stuff and to make, as and the other ADs that we work with know that there are things constantly changing, and there are different things that pop out at us every day. So whatever we can do to make our lives easier. I know I met with the school nurses at our middle school and the high school last week, and we were talking some more about Final Forms, and they were like, "This is amazing." And I know you said you were going to do this, and you said this was going to make life easier, but it really is. Like, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't lying to you. Like, it's great. So my coaches are loving it. Some of them are doing attendance in there now too on a regular basis. So it's we're rocking.
There's a little bit of everything, right? Like we just canceled golf practice today because we were getting the thunder and lightning. And I have a little bit of help. So the secretary sent out an all call, as well as hitting that one button and sending a message out to every family that, hey, golf practice is canceled. And so there's so many little facets just to that program. Never mind some of the other stuff that that we have afforded to us. I think it's great. But we're definitely back on the wheel, and we're rocking and rolling. Summer's over. Hopefully, we got a nice weekend and we can, enjoy that last bit of warm weather before we all head really back.
Yes.
I know, like you, I've got a bunch of scrimmages coming up. We're hosting Bourne High School on Friday night under the lights here at the school, and we've got soccer and volleyball and all that other stuff. So I don't know how's your numbers looking. Mine this year it's like hell of a freshman class, so it's the numbers.
So it's funny that you say that. So I'm literally going through. It's great. 2 clicks, boom. I know that right now I have 365 student athletes playing a sport this fall. At the high school, and you add in the middle schoolers, we're about 575 as of right now, and those numbers will keep going. We closed down our registration the other day for high school, but middle school will stay open until the school year starts. But
that's great.
It's great to see kids out there. I missed the first day last Monday because I was moving my son into school. So I got here early on Tuesday and I was walking around and seeing the teams and apologizing I wasn't there. But it's good to see the faces around. It's good to see the kids enjoying themselves and working hard and coming out to, represent the school and the town and their families, and have hopefully another great experience of a great year of high school athletics.
I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it. This is my favorite week of the year.
Yeah.
I love the first week. You get to see everybody that you haven't seen all summer, generally in a good mood.
Yep.
And it's just athletics. There's no school involved. They're just focused on the one thing. You can get in and get out. But
Absolutely.
Keith, I know that you've got a couple of big meetings coming on this afternoon, so I don't want to keep you, but I do want to mention that again. We couldn't do what we do without Gold Athletics. They are absolutely the premium fundraising company in the state of Mass and across the country. If you're not using Gold Athletics, ask anybody who uses them. Testimonial will come back, 5-star. They are unbelievable, and we're very blessed to have them with us.
Absolutely. And we're looking to make some, we've talked about doing some different changes to the podcast coming up, and we're going to try to bring some more different faces on, so it's not just the two of us coming in jibber jabbering the whole time. So we're working on that list and getting stuff ready to go.
I got a surprise for you on that list, so we'll talk about that off camera. But I appreciate getting back together again with you today. And I know you're a busy man. I have a couple of meetings myself, but hopefully everybody enjoyed some of the information, and we'll be back together again in a couple of weeks. Yes,
absolutely. Looking forward to it, and give a shout out to everyone out there, and enjoy your year, and hopefully everything goes nice and smooth. And if don't forget, especially those new ADs that we met last week or 2 weeks ago, that when you need help, don't be afraid to ask. Find that person, find that group of people in your building, and reach out and ask for help. Don't wait till it's too late.
That's right. Networking.
Absolutely.
I love it. Hey, thanks so much, Coach. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll see you out there, buddy.
All right.